This is episode 15 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and about myself. This is a special Heatseeker episode featuring Grand Champion ranked gameplay from some of the best Heatseeker players in the world. And it includes answers to questions about topics like the best mechanics for Hardstuck Plats, the future of Sideswipe, and how I got my logo. All of the gameplay shown in this video and all of the questions answered in this video came from my Discord server. If you want to submit your own gameplay or questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server. The details are on screen and in the video description. Alright, let's get into the first match and the first question. Alright, so this episode is going to be slightly different from what I usually do. Usually I separate all the questions into first Sideswipe questions, and then at the end of the video I do Mogz questions. But in this one, I'm just going to mix all of them together. So there'll be some Sideswipe questions, and some Mogz questions, and maybe some questions about other topics as well, all mixed in together. Okay, so the first question comes from Beyond Aesthetic, and they ask, how did you get your logo? So I paid someone to make my logo. The guy I paid is named Widar. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway, that's how I say it. He's extremely talented. He's the same guy who does pretty much all of my thumbnails in the past like 8 months anyway. And he's just unbelievably talented. He did my logo, he did my banner. My banner was originally made by someone else, but he kind of glossed it up and made it kind of cooler. But he fully designed my logo. I just kind of worked with him on the details. But he sort of came up with the concept himself, and yeah, I think it's really cool. It's really clean, and it's just amazing how he's combined the word Mogz with the octane shape. I just love it, and so much better than my original logo, which I just designed myself in like MS Paint in 20 minutes. I mean, it's embarrassing that it took me 20 minutes. It probably took me heaps longer than that actually, but yeah, I mean, I have zero artistic ability really at all, so yeah, this guy's incredible. I highly recommend him. The logo cost me, I think, $50 US, and the thumbnails are around $20, but it's upwards from $20 really per thumbnail. So anyway, if you guys are looking for really good logos or really good thumbnails for if you have your own YouTube channels, I highly recommend him. He's absolutely incredible. All right, thanks for the question. Next one comes from Duxia, and they ask, Yo Mogz, any mechanics you think a Hardstuck mid-plat should learn, and how to stall and pancake, and all that fun stuff, but I'm still feel like there's room to improve. Yeah. Mechanics for Hardstuck mid-plat. I mean, I would say if you already know how to stall and if you're pancaking on all your 50s, I would say one of the best, and I think I recommended this in my last Ask Mogz video as well, the best kind of mechanic you can learn for around that rank is what I called the best shot. I made a video about it about a year ago maybe, and I think they also call it a delayed gold shot. So you're just pancaking into the ball where you can maybe get a boost reset, and then you're leaning back and gold shotting it. And this is I just think it's kind of the definitive shot. It's something that every player should have in their game, no matter what rank you are. And it's so good because it's so versatile. You can sort of just continue pancaking the whole way, and then just, take the ball and put it in the net if your opponent overcommits. Or you can do the gold shot, you can do the gold shot high, you can do the gold shot low. It's really versatile. You can do a follow through gold shot. You could do a purple shot instead of doing the gold shot. You could even probably do a red shot. There's just so much you can do with it. So I just think this is absolutely the best shot. And if you're Hardstuck mid-plat, I mean, get this in your game and you'll probably get up to diamond. So yeah, that's my recommended shot. Recommended mechanic other than stalling. I mean, stalling's so useful. I think purple flicking as well is kind of underrated, and I made a video about that. I think I said the most underrated mechanic in the game. And I still think that. I mean, it's so effective in certain situations. It's just a great mechanic to have in your game. So I highly recommend both of those two things. Our next one comes from Sir Samosa Distributor. Weird name. And they ask, do you think you could make a video about Jelly and all the mechanics he's made and can do? Yeah, that is actually in the cards. I mean, I do want to make a video about Jelly. I might even do like a series about like a player showcase, or like a featured player series where I do one video about a particular player. So Jelly could be, the first one. I could do other YouTubers like Stevie B, or some GCs that I know, like top 1 GCs, or just some like interesting like freestyle players. I mean, Jelly's kind of freestyle, but if you don't know who Jelly is, so he's the person who does a lot of the clips in my recent videos in the last like 6 months, and he's featured in a lot of the mechanic showcases as well. I mean, every single one actually. He's submitted multiple mechanics to that. So yeah, he's really, really talented, and he's incredible. So I include him in basically all my videos. I mean, his clips will be, I think, in every single one of my videos. So yeah, that's who Jelly is, and yeah, it's a good idea. I definitely will do that at some point. Next one comes from Miro, who's one of my Mogz members. He pays like a monthly subscription to get that red tag that he's got on his name, as well as other perks. And you can sign up, link in video description if you want to do that, if you want to support my channel. And they asked, do you think Sideswipe will die at season 14? So season 14 is, for anyone who doesn't know, the point at which we have leaks. Up until we have leaked season rewards, which you can find on the website or put on screen. And so a lot of people think that maybe Sideswipe's like dead after that. Maybe it'll be discontinued, or won't be supported at all anymore. Not that it's really supported much. Or maybe they're gonna remove season rewards. Is possible. So no one knows what's gonna happen. I am actually kind of hopeful that season 14 will mark the beginning of a new phase of Sideswipe, and I'm hoping that they monetize it. I mean, maybe they've planned this where they're just going to do 14 seasons and then they start monetizing the game after that. Maybe there's legal issues. I know that there's like a court case between Apple and Samsung. There was anyway. Not sure if there's some ongoing parts of that, but yeah, it's possible that it could mark the beginning of something new, some new phase where we get new content. So that's what I'm hoping. That would be amazing for me and just amazing for the whole community. But yeah, remains to be seen what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to totally discontinue support for the game. I think we'll still get season rewards. It could just be that's just where the leaks end, and that we might still get new season rewards. Maybe they'll release goal explosions and other rewards from Rocket League, past season rewards into Sideswipe. That's entirely possible as well. We'll see. Anyway, I have no idea what's going to happen, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to season 14. I think that's going to be kind of a pivotal moment in the game. Really curious to see what happens. That's a great question. Next one comes from Goff Duck, and they ask, hey Mogz, if Rocket League and Sideswipe weren't a thing, what games do you think you would be creating content about? It's a good question, yeah. I have thought about this. I mean, when I started my channel, I actually wasn't planning to do I wasn't planning to do just one game, like just Rocket League. I actually started as like a game review channel, and I did a few of my early videos were just that. Like I did one like big kind of game review where I did some like space game. It was a really like dodgy, $5 game. But that was just for me to get used to making videos. And then I did like a top 10 of like my favorite games of all time. I did a video like that. And I was planning to get into game reviews, but I never ended up doing that. But yeah, so I think if Rocket League and Sideswipe weren't a thing, I'd probably be doing that. I'd probably be a game review channel. But if not, if I had to choose like one game, I'd probably do... I mean, some of my favorite games, I might want to cover them, like PC games, you guys might not know them, but there's one called Deep Rock Galactic that I really love, that I used to play all the time. So I could do that. I could do Valheim, which is one of my favorite games as well. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have just jumped on some other game that was just coming out. So I was actually thinking when that game what's it called, New World, came out, that I should switch from Rocket League to that. So that's a contender for sure. I could have done New World. which is an MMO on PC. So yeah, that's possible. Otherwise, I don't really know. I've got my eye on a couple of games that are coming out soonish. So stay tuned for those. I might do them on my main channel, and I might switch to a different game on my second channel. So there might be some changes coming where I don't just do Sideswipe content, but that'll be in the next 3 to 4 months probably. So yeah, stay tuned for that anyway. Next one comes from McRogs, and they ask, hey Mogz, if you could make 3 changes to Sideswipe right now, what would they be? Good question, yeah. Obviously, player-to-player trading is number 1. That needs to be in the game. We just need to be able to trade. I mean, it's just essential. Maybe they can make certain items not tradable, like the gold rewards, the collections rewards. Maybe you can make them not tradable. Maybe chromatics, maybe make them not tradable. And maybe things that you buy from the item shop, same as in Rocket League, you can't trade them. But I think everything else, anything that you get from crates, should be tradable. I think. That's the first thing. The next one would be, I guess monetizing the game. Yeah, adding some kind of monetization. So another credit type. So just credits, that you can buy with real money, and then you can spend that money in game. You can spend those credits in game. I think that would breathe a lot of life into the game, and it would just kind of open up another dimension to the game, as trading would as well. And I guess the last one would be not item related, so it would be gameplay related. And I really want to see custom training in the game. And I've mentioned this a bunch of times. Every time people ask these kind of questions, like how to improve Sideswipe, I think we need some kind of custom training where we can set up our own scenarios. In Rocket League, you can do this, and then you could, there's so many things you could do with that as well. You could share your custom training packs with other people. You could have custom training ones that were maybe official ones that were made by Psyonix or whatever, and then player made custom training packs. And that would be amazing as well. There's so many things. I could list 10. There's so many. But I think they're probably the top 3 for me. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas for things that could really improve Sideswipe, let me know down in the comments, because it's a great topic. And I could do a video with all of your community suggestions as well. That'd be awesome. So put them down in the comments, and if I get enough entries, I can make a video about it. Good question though. Next one comes from Harish, and they ask, how did you start your Rocket League Sideswipe career? Yeah, good question. Wait, I'm going to have a drink of orange juice. So, Sideswipe career, it started in pre-season. I was previously a Rocket League YouTuber. Pretty failing. I had 3,000 subscribers or something after doing it for about a year. And, some of my videos only got a few hundred views. So, I considered it basically a failed channel. And I did have some videos that did well. It got 50k or something like that. So that was cool, but yeah, it wasn't making enough money, and it was a hobby really at that point. Sideswipe. So I got into Sideswipe just because someone mentioned it on my Discord, and I was like, oh, okay, didn't even know about that. And that was in, I think, November 2021, I think. Is that right? I don't even know. 2021-ish, whatever. It was pre-season. Yeah. 2022 maybe? Can't remember. No, 2021 definitely. And so it was pre-season, and I made a video beginner mechanics or something, or an intro, an intro to Sideswipe, I think it was. And that video didn't do that well really. It got 16,000 views. I was sort of it was good for me at the time. But then my very next video, I think, was a beginner mechanics video. And that, is sitting at almost 600,000. So that was really the beginning. I was like, okay, this is the new game for me. And so that was, pre-season, just before season 1 launched. And the only reason I got on board, I got in early access, was because I'm from Australia, and my app store was set to Australia still, even though I live in Japan. It was still set to Australia, so I just got early access to it, because it first released in Australia before it went to season 1 in the US. And so I was just lucky, honestly, that I got in really, really early. So yeah, incredibly lucky. And yeah, that was just the beginning. It was a crazy few months where my channel went from getting, I don't know how much per month, like views. I think it was, I don't remember the views number, but it basically went, it multiplied by like 5,000%, you know. So for example, if I was making like, you know, $100 a month, I went to making $5,000. Like, it was just bonkers, absolutely bonkers. And I mean, that didn't last, that kind of tapered off really quickly, but it was, yeah, a really crazy time. And yeah, so that was the beginning anyway. So yeah, cool. Thanks for the question. Next one comes from Adam Bitar07, and they ask, hey Mogz, I'm at Champ 1 suffering with sideways stall chains. Sometimes accidentally doing purple shots instead and better at them from below the ball. Of course, yeah, easier from below. My main problem is in aligning the car using joystick or boost for the next stall. I mean, me too, bro. I suffer with that. I struggle with that same thing, aligning my car. It's just practice, I think. That's really all it is. I also think, like, if your phone is quite small, it can be quite difficult to align the car. So I feel like people who have bigger phones or use iPads or whatever, tablets, have a bit of an advantage when lining up their car to do stalls and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's practice, honestly. If you spent like half an hour practicing every day, I'm sure you'd get that muscle memory down where you kind of get really quick and accurate at aligning your car. But if you're doing purple shots, the only issue there is that you're spamming the buttons because you're trying to do the stalls really fast, because you kind of have to, I guess, if you're doing sideways ones. So that's just a matter of you're pressing the buttons in the wrong order. You're pressing jump when you should be pressing air roll. That's the main issue. So it's just because you're spamming the buttons. Yeah, that's why you do the purple shots. But the aligning the car thing is just, yeah, a matter of practice and maybe screen size as well, I think. Next one comes from Ontfen, and they ask, recently, how has your view on Psyonix changed compared to when Sideswipe released? I mean, I don't really know how much I don't know how much Psyonix is involved in Sideswipe, honestly. I mean, I know, because since they got bought out by Epic, or acquired or whatever by Epic, like I don't know, maybe they don't have a huge amount of involvement. Maybe their game is you know, Rocket League, and maybe Epic has more control over Sideswipe. I'm not really sure. So I wouldn't say my view on Psyonix has changed at all, really. Yeah, and I, as much as people seem to hate on Epic a lot, the amount of content we get in Rocket League is massive compared to what it was before Epic took over. You know, so I think the amount, like, they've injected a lot of money into the game, and maybe that made Sideswipe possible. I mean, you know, we might not even have Sideswipe without Epic. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't changed it. I still love them. I mean, they've created two of my favorite games of all time, so I can't really hate on them. So yeah, I don't think it's really changed at all. No, I think they're probably great developers. All right, next one comes from Archit, and they ask, hey Mogz, what motivates you to make videos and play Sideswipe? What motivates me to play Sideswipe? The only motivation is just that I have a channel. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't play Sideswipe anymore. Yeah, so nothing really. Yeah, just the channel motivates me just to play Sideswipe. What motivates me to make videos? I mean, I'm so passionate about creating content. Like, it's just my number one focus in life, other than my family. You know, and so I love it. I mean, it's just, I love the creativity. I love the writing, of writing scripts and stuff. Imagining what the script is going to look like when it comes to life, and when it comes to life on screen. You know, the music. I'm a massive music fan, so you know how the music and the words and the video all mix together, blend together to create, you know, the effect that I'm going for in the video, the vibe and everything. I love that part of the process. I really love the collaboration. You know, when I started my channel, I didn't do much collaboration with other members of the community. I didn't have people like Jelly doing clips for my videos, and I didn't work with people like Doro, you know, one of the best players in the world, submitting clips and teaching me about the game, and You know, I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. So I just did everything myself. I recorded all of the clips myself. But these days I'm much more connected to the community and connected to, yeah, like key members. And I've really enjoyed that. That's something that I've learned to do more of, to actually like engage with people rather than just trying to like lone wolf everything, which is my nature. So yeah, all of those things kind of motivate me. But it's just like it's something I love. You know, I kind of found my calling really with this YouTube channel. And also, I mean, I can't talk about this without mentioning you guys. I mean, you know, I love the engagement with you guys and all these questions that I get from you and all the comments that you guys leave on my videos. Like, it just makes it all worthwhile. All the hours and hours and hours I spend editing and like struggling with scripts and stuff, writing thousands of words. Getting your feedback and being able to engage with you is really important to me, and it's something special that I feel really privileged to be able to experience. I've never had millions of people watch my videos. I've never you know, I have like 10 million views on my channel. I've never had 10 million people. I've never had 10,000 people or 1,000 people look at anything that I've ever made before. So it was only when I made this channel that that many people started seeing something that I had made. And I mean, I just feel really privileged, because 99% of people don't get that opportunity. So I mean, so many things motivate me. That's just one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It's like top 2, you know. Having kids is like, I would have to say top 1, but I mean, this channel, I'd give up most things to keep doing it. That's how much I love it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. All right, next one is another one from Archid, and they ask, what type of music do you listen to? I listen to lots of types of music. I have such a huge range. One of my favorite bands is Tool. I love Tool. But then on the other side, they're really heavy kind of rock. On the other side would be Sigur Rós, which is an Icelandic band. They are sometimes heavy, but they're also really, it's like music that you'd listen to if you're on top of a mountain, like meditating or something. It's just, but it's like, it's not boring. It's really like emotional and beautiful. Another one is Album Leaf, The Album Leaf, I think they're called. And that's, if I had to pick one album to listen to for the rest of my life, it would be The Album Leaf, In a Safe Place. That would be my go-to album. I just never get sick of it. You know, I've been listening to it for 20 years, like my whole life, and I just never get sick of it. So if anyone knows The Album Leaf, In a Safe Place, just comment down below, because yeah, let's be friends. I just massive fan of that. Otherwise, I mean, so much stuff, like a crazy amount. I couldn't list it all, but yeah, thank you for the questions. Great. Next one comes from Zeus, and they ask, Mogz, why isn't there Supersonic Legend in Sideswipe? I mean, there wasn't Supersonic Legend in Rocket League when it first released. In fact, that's a relatively recent development. Like, I don't know when exactly it was. Not sure if it was the new season 1 a few years ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it's fairly recent. Like, it wasn't there for the first, like, I would say 10 seasons. So, and I think that's a matter of player numbers. Yeah, and like same in Rocket League, we've got like, we started with just GC, and now we've got like GC1, GC2, GC3. So I think it's just a matter of expanding the player base, expanding the ranks to allow for the expansion of the player base. And yeah, in Sideswipe we don't have it because there's not enough players, basically. And if we did separate them, you know, the queue time, I've heard the queue times in GC are already ridiculously long. So if you broke up those players even more, they would just get longer. So I mean, that's why. Good question though. Next one comes from Papercut YT, and they ask, Mogz, how does your IRL life go? My real life. Other than YouTube, do you have any hobbies, favorite restaurants, fun pastimes? Yeah, my hobbies, not really. I mean, I used to play guitar, and I don't play anymore really. My hobbies are really just like making videos, hanging out with my daughter, you know, playing games, of course, playing community. I play games every night with friends and my brother. Favorite restaurants, I love, like, one of my favorite restaurants is an Italian-Japanese fusion restaurant. Absolutely love that. Indian food I love. Yeah, but I'm not really a restaurant person that much. I don't know. They're okay, yeah. It depends. Pastimes, playing games. I mean, I'm a gamer. I'm 100% a gamer, so that's like my main thing. All right, next one is another one from Archie. Oh my god, 3 questions in one video. And they ask, hey Mogz, what was the best mode that Sideswipe added till now? Yeah, hoops, 100%. I that's my favorite extra mode by far. I don't really like Heatseeker is okay, but it's so different. Hoops I really like because it's kind of a middle ground. It's like Sideswipe normal game mode, but then it's got a twist. So I really like that. I love that. All right, and is this the last one? Last question comes from Rel Aid, and they ask, free shout out please. Yep, there you go. There's your shout out. Okay, stop asking. Oh my god, you ask so many times and then people ask for you, and then people are like, what this guy said, and then what this guy said below me, and then oh my god, just there's your shout out. So okay, goodbye now. Yeah, and there's all the questions. Thanks for all of your questions, guys. As I said earlier, massively appreciate all of you. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I mean, it was a bit different in the question order was different, and also Heatseeker. Like, I've never done an extra mode AMA video before, so I hope you enjoyed the Heatseeker clips. If not, if you want me to do... I did a poll recently, and you guys said you wanted 1v1s, GC 1v1s, so maybe I'll do that next. Maybe I'll just do 1v1s. And yeah, thank you for answering my polls as well. I really, really appreciate that. So getting your feedback and stuff, I always enjoy. Okay, and yeah, if you guys want to submit your questions for future episodes, or if you want to submit gameplay for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server and yeah, put your no, DM me, or just, I don't know, maybe I'll, yeah, put your questions in the AMA channel. Maybe I'll create another channel for people who want to submit clips. Yeah, I might do that. That's probably a good idea. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.